Hello, I think it's finally it's working. Hello, you're welcome to the BFEG platform. We are live today to celebrate the Nigerian community Black History Month, and today is the spotlight on Nollywood movie. And also, as part of the Nigerian community, Black History Month is also to celebrate the live theater play, looking at contemporary story, looking at fiction story. And today we have Madam Debbie in the house, one of our Nollywood producer, actor, singer, book writer, and it was an honor to be at her premiere recently at Greenwich. And we actually find it a great honor to have her today to be with us and talk about a movie and the role that she has played in the Nigerian Nollywood. Welcome, Madam Debbie. I hope you're able to hear me now.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can hear me, if you can hear
me. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, thank you
me. Okay,
so
good.
much.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry about the glitch.
Yeah. So, my name is Dr. Debbie Onyema, and I am a mental health practitioner. I'm a gospel singer. I am a movie producer. I'm an actress. I'm a youth motivational, speaker. I love talking to the youth, especially on mental health. And also, I use that opportunity to create awareness on health. I'm also a mom and a wife, and I have three lovely children. Yeah, that's me.
Thank you very much for actually being part of this event. Well, actually, one of the reasons we invited you is because we've seen. I was at your movie premiere, the one you've acted at the that was done at Tram Shed, and the storyline and the production was very interesting. One of the I because you are based um, in UK and Florence is also based in UK, and I see female um, producer actually having more spotlight in the Nollywood industry. And as part of the Nigerian community, Black History Month, we're talking about theater play, like theater play, pantomime. This is something that we've not explored. I've not seen, I don't know if it's happening back home, but I've not seen a lot of it happening. I can see that some people are beginning to do production on the theater play, but it's not as heavy as the normal Nollywood movie is. So if I may ask you, is this something that you intend to do in the future, like theater?
I would say yes, but what I'm saying at the moment, I'm just focusing on producing, back in Nigeria because I find out that going back home to produce is a bit,
Mm,
one of the a bit cheaper than when you want to produce here in UK or Dublin, because I lived in Dublin for so many years before I came
mm,
down to UK. So in future years, I'm going to look into that, especially, I want to work with young people, eh,
mm.
creating health awareness. That has been my passion, to work with young people to create health awareness through Nollywood movie because I know it's very therapeutic. And back home, the way we see mental health, people, I think I was talking to somebody about mental health and he said, "Oh, God forbid, it's not his portion." I said, "Look,
Mm.
mental health is just the stigma there back home. Make people not to even talk about it. They don't even want to, um, you know, uh, identify with anyone with mental health, which it can happen to anyone. you know, mental health, it can happen to anyone. That's why I always tell people to prioritize their mental health, you know, prioritize your mental health is very important. So part of what I want to do in future is to work with young people, you know, creating awareness through movie, health awareness, you know, alcohol, um, alcohol, drugs, you know, mental issues. You talk about depression, anxiety, bipolar, and so on. So yeah, in the future, I'm going to do that with especially young people. I really have that passion to work with them and use movie, especially the Nollywood movie, to create awareness. You know, that's one thing people don't understand, that you can really use that to create awareness on health and mental
Health.
yeah.
Thank you very much. It is interesting to see you actually talking about the role that Nollywood movie can play in terms of raising. I think about your background is noisy. The way that Nollywood movie can actually create use as a power tool
Yeah.
to create awareness in terms of real story, things that is happening in our life. Yesterday we were at the Black Female platform where we were talking about the forgotten African soldier. And we say some of the story are not being told. A lot of our story are not being told. And who better place to tell the story if not the theater industry, the movie
Exactly.
industry. Yeah. Yes, we love to see some of those friction story. We love to see some of those contemporary movie that is being played. But most of our story that is history, because now you can see the history is not being taught in school. And for you to make it more interesting for young people to get involved, like you say, you want to work with young people. This is where theater, young people love a lot of theater. I know that there's movie take a lot of time, a lot of effort to have setting career. But it's so if I may get into the Nollywood and film production and acting.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
I said, how did you get into, how did you started?
Oh, mine was a long story and a very difficult one. You know, I'm a twin. You know, I have my twin. You know, I'm still, you know, I'm still a twin. So I and my twin brother, we planned. That was part of our passion. We wanted to go into movie producing, you know, acting, you know, storytelling and so on. Unfortunately, he passed on
Oh,
4 years now. So, and that was when I started producing. Immediately he passed. The only thing I can do, and that was how I, you know, part of what I did was just to tell a bit of a story while he was alive, you know, the people, because he imparted a lot of lives and he did a lot, you know, within the short period. So that made me, I produced my first movie 4 years ago, and it was the story of my twin brother, you know, and yeah, that was my very first movie,
okay.
Sacrifice, you know, because he did a lot, sacrificed a lot, you know. He loved people. He want to give back to the community, and he did. He gave back to the community within the shots. Um, so, sorry, I don't like talking about it, but you know,
No, that's fine. That's
that,
fine. I
that,
see that
that
you're very emotional
yeah,
about
that movie means a lot to me, and thank God for my producer, who came in. I gave him the script. and he called Collins AGK. He came down, and I think I did that movie with Collins AGK and few of Nollywood actors in Nigeria, just few of them, because the main person I called, the money, the person was like, okay, you're gonna give me so amount to do that. I said, look, I don't have that money, so I just had to do something I can afford, and that's where the challenges comes when it comes to producing and so on, So that's me.
Yeah, thank you very much. That it says it was a personal, movement for you. So it's something that you were connected, and I can see why the passion, and I can even in your trailer that I watched, you can see the story there. I think a lot of your story got to do with a personal story, real story, which is something I really like about your movie, because and this is what we're saying, that Nollywood should tell the story of our everyday life. As much as we want to pick some of the features, but the everyday, there's a lot of story in Africa, lots of story that is untold, and then Nollywood movie can do more and make it more interesting. At this point, I'm going to welcome my co-host Gaga to introduce himself, and let's just get on.
Good evening, Auntie Lucy and our guest.
Your background is too noisy. Your background is too noisy. Yeah.
So, good evening. Sorry for coming late. I'm Ogaga Lombe, aka Blade OG. I'm a writer, a blogger, an author, plenty things. But I'm also the general manager of the BFEG Voice Radio. No, we have, I don't know if she has told you, we have the Black Female Entrepreneur Greenwich. We have our own radio station, which is doing very well. So I happen to manage along with our CEO here, Madam Lucy. So from the part I listened to, I think I really enjoyed your submission. First, let me start from the last one. You talked about your brother, talking about your first movie, using it to tell the story of your brother. And that is how we get our healing. Instead of keeping quiet, we tell the story of people, and that keeps his memory alive. Because if you want to live forever, from one generation to the other, put your story in a book or in a movie. In the next 50 years, in the next 100 years, the generation to come, we still talk or read about the person. So his memory can, and that's why I like what you say. I am still a twin. I still have my twin because it's still there. Now, you also talked about other movies that portray the issues of mental health, depression, drug abuse. Now, as being producers, actors, writers who are in the diaspora, I think that's where it comes, because people back home, you want to watch the story. Maybe you've been away for long, but you want to watch our stories. And Hollywood stories tell true life stories. And our movies are not just action. Our movies are traditionally created not just to tell a story, but also to pass a lesson. That's why when you even see some people say, no, rituals, some movies are too much a ritual. But if you watch to the end, there's always a lesson that the ritual.
Yeah, there's always a lesson. That's right. Yeah.
Then there's something we also want to appreciate. We back home now in Nigeria, we back home in Africa, we want producers who are in the diaspora to tell the story of Africans, the challenges. That helps. That will also draw a lot for interest. Like when you talk about, I've not been outside Nigeria, but I have family members, I have friends, I read stories of Nigerians and other Africans who travel to Canada, to Europe. They're doing okay here, but once they get there, within a short time, they develop mental health issues, depression, because of one, the weather. Two, they are away from family and friends. They are among people, other Africans, other Nigerians, even if they even have a family that who are busy doing 1, 2, 3 jobs, doing 1 or 2 things, they don't have that time. You really see people. Because back home, the way we manage our mental health issues is because we have the community around us.
Yeah,
we have people, you can see your neighbors, you can talk to your neighbors.
Yeah.
But this is not what you find. And so we need these stories, these experiences to be told. It will sell. So that's my submission. But let me also ask you a question. You also mentioned when you want to produce to get Hollywood producers, especially back home, to take part in the movie, the prices they call is much. And we know movie production is very expensive.
It is.
And so then now the issues we also have to mitigate or to manage such issues. If you have a good story to tell, you could get on top talent. That's what some producers do. Most of these actors, they are charging 60 girls today. Somebody discovered them. In some movies, now 20,000, they pay them that time. But those movies sold. Because those movies sold, people, their prices went up. So we could also get on top talent, do a talent hunt for very good actors who want to be discovered, and you see them put in their best. As long as the story goes well and they deliver, that can also help to reduce such challenges or discourage others from further producing. And in fact, today now you see that you can produce your movie before you be begging people to buy your movies, you beg one producer, beg one TV station, beg this. But now what do people do? A lot of actors now, even producers, almost every actor in Nigeria wants to be producer. They have their YouTube channel. In Nigeria, in fact, the cable TV is almost falling off in Nigeria. People even subscribe more to Netflix now than to cable TV.
Yeah.
People go to more because of the expensive subscriptions. And even when the subscriptions are expensive, the movies are recycled from month to month. And so you wonder, why am I resubscribing? And so people just go to YouTube. And that I don't even know how they are making their money. I know from the streaming, they make their money from adverts. So those are areas you also need to explore, even in the diaspora. You have good actors in the diaspora, you use them, they deliver. Put some movie on YouTube, and people will begin to go to your channel, subscribe to your channel.
Yeah. I think I have
Make your money.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you once again.
Thank you so much. I think I have few movies, coming out next year by the grace of God, and they will all my movies will be on my YouTube channel, which is Depsani Entertainment. By the grace of God, we have a lot in stock. So, by 2026, all the movie will be on my YouTube channel and also on Facebook.
Thank you, Debs, for actually coming up. And Gaga, thanks for your question and your narrative. My last question for today, because I know you're busy and you need to go. Is what are the challenges you face in the industry, both back in Africa and in the UK? Because I know these are two different setting. And if you're producing, because I know sometimes you produce, you shoot here, you produce, you shoot back home. What are your challenges?
It's so now, money. I think if you have a sponsor, I don't think you have much difficulties in producing. But when you don't have and you do everything, sometimes it's very, 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 very difficult. Like for me, I don't have a sponsor, I don't have no one. So I use my money, and my husband, support me sometimes, and sometimes my friends, So, those are the challenges, truly. And when you talk about actors back home, the kind of money they call sometimes, when you look at it, you just shake your head. I remember one time my director called an actor for, for one of my jobs. And what he told him was 2 million. I was like, 2 million? For what? 2 million. He said, yes, that's what he's going to take. And I told my director, I said, look, I don't have that money, number one. Even if I have it, I'm not going to. I'm not saying paying an actor 2 million is too much. No, it's not. But at the end of the day, when you look at your budget and you look at the situation of the country, at least you should, your price should come down a bit, not to just say, most of them, they are very good, I know. And I don't go for the top actors. I cut my coat according to my size. If na Niger people, that's what they say. So even those ones, they will start with the kind of hotel they're gonna stay, the food, the transportation, which is, yes, it is, but and at the end of the day, you still pay them. I'm going to put you in a good hotel, not just anyhow hotel. But at the end, you don't just tell me, oh, Debs, this is the kind of hotel you name your hotel. How much am I making? I'm not making anything. I have about 5 movies. I've done few premieres, which I'm doing another one in January by the grace of God. And next year, most of them will be on my YouTube. Another challenge we have, after production, you can't believe that I gave one of the TV station in Nigeria my movie through my director. They held the movie for a year, 1 year, and they came back to us and said, oh, we can't take this movie due to this, that, they have a lot, stories. I just look at, I shook my head and said, to me, that can discourage anyone that wants to go into production full time, which I'm not going to, go into that full time. I have to do my job and so on. If not, hunger will kill you, So yeah, and that just it. Those are the for
So
me.
the same thing apply in the UK?
Because I've lived in Ireland and I just came into UK, so I don't know. But my last, I think, before what movie was that? Okay. One of my movie was shot. Part of it was shot in the UK. Really, they didn't take nothing from me. They came together like Blue Leaves, Catalog, what's his name again? One other guy. I just paid just their transportation, feeding, and that was just it. So,
So it's more people in diaspora are more understanding when it comes to.
Yeah, I think so. They are, because when people back home, especially when you're coming from Europe or from UK anyway, they look at you as if you plug money from somewhere. Some of them, not all of them, because most of them are doing very well, and some of them are, they are ready to support. Well, like all those things, that is just the game in Nigeria. If you don't know them personally, it's difficult for you to
Like, yeah,
survive.
you know, you talk about working with young people. You talk about making some of this like health-wise campaign information. You talk about making it into a movie to raise an awareness and working with young people to do that. So I know there's art grants. So when you work alongside with other charity organizations that's also pushing for this, there's head grant, there's a young people grant that can actually support you. How now it is you, I don't know who is watching, who is seeing what we're doing today. If you now you have the opportunity to the UK government, to the Art Council, to people like Big Lottery, people like the Heritage Fund, what would you say to them as someone that produces movie and want to use this your skill, your platform to actually support and empower young people to work in the industry, build up a skill, build up a career, and at the same time passing on useful information and engage them? What would you say is the support you need from them? They're all listening. Some people do come and spy on our site. So say it as loud. You are the one. You know what the cost is. You know what the cost is. So this is your opportunity to say.
Yeah, I think just one word is sponsorship. If I have, any company that is ready to sponsor me, I am ready to work.
Yeah. So if we're talking about grants, so there's grants. Yeah. So what would you say to these people, local authority, the Big Lottery, the Heritage Fund, the Mayor of London fund that they give to community? On now that you want to, what would you say that how can they support you, engage with young people and promote using the movie, the acting industry to engage young people and pass on a very important message around health, mental health?
Yeah, I think with the funding, I'm going to say, if you look around, the rate of mental health in the country is very high, and when you look about talk about young people, the drugs, the alcohol abuse, peer pressure, and so on. If I have the grant, I'll be able to create awareness on that and also engage them, and also use the young people to get other young people through acting and music, because it's very, very important. Yeah, therapeutic. When you talk about acting, yeah, or movie, music, and so on, it's very good. It's therapeutic, and for me, I feel that if I have the grants today, I'm ready to work with young people, and creating health awareness will go a long way, and we can use it to make a change in the community.
So thank you very much for saying that. And I believe what the message you're just trying to pass on, that it is important that it is not only a community event that is being funded, that the art industry, where you have the acting, the theater, should also be funded, because it's another way of engaging the community and people can get skilled. And then we're calling, in partnership with you, in partnership with the Nigerian community and Black female, we're calling on all funders to look into this project that we are trying to develop. And the project is going to involve movie acting. The project is going to involve theater play. It's going to involve Nollywood artists, celebrity, producer, and also give a platform for people in the community to learn new skill. You never can tell what skill will bring you job. A lot of what recently we had in the news, there's a high percentage of young people between the age of 18, I think I'm 29 or 30, that are out of job and out of training. They're not working and they're not training. And I can testify with that. So it is important that we have things like this that can engage them, that can support them, that can show them different way of actually making money and getting skill, and also making income. And
them to, so is.
So before you go, tell people, can you tell us your movie that will be on YouTube so that people can go out there? And the premiere also taking place in the UK or is taking place in Africa so that people can go and watch and buy into the premiere?
Yeah, by the grace of God, next year I have few of my movie, live on YouTube, which is we have The Selfless Sacrifice, we have Mother's Protection, Seed of Betrayal, and Silent Pain. So it's a very, I don't want to talk about the movie until you say it, So we have a premiere coming up next year, by the grace of God, February, but that will be in Southampton and not London. So please, I'm inviting everyone to come. And,
we're traveling down.
Yeah.
We hope to travel down.
Please, yeah, I appreciate that. So sorry, I'm not very good in what to say. I'm just trying.
Oh, you're very good. You did. You did very well. You did very well. Yeah, you did very well.
Sorry, thanks. I would like.
I needed to ask you.
Pardon?
I needed to ask you a question before you leave.
Okay.
So I don't forget, please, before you answer the question, you need to share your YouTube link. You tell us what your YouTube channel, so people are listeners can be able to
okay.
So remember that. Then, well, operations first one. Apart from Nigeria, what efforts are you making at other targeted African nations like Kenya, Ghana, for your focus? But when you're talking, you just be concentrating on Nigeria. So, what efforts have you made to exploit other African markets? We know Nollywood movies sell, even in the Gambia. So that's my question.
Yeah, I think that's part of my plan by the grace of God in future, but due to the nature of my job, it's very difficult. So I'm only doing what I can do at the moment, So in future, I would like to work with, some of the actors in Ghana, US, South Africa, and so on. Recently, I was in Hollywood, and I met a few Hollywood actors through Taiwo Ojola, because I was nominated as one of the presenters. So, there are a lot of plans, so I'll be going into that in future, not now. So now I'm concentrating on my job and also doing the movie production as part of my passion, and also to most important, to create awareness on so many issues, in the family, when you talk about divorce and so on, single parenting. Yeah. So
thank you very much. It was an honor to have you on the show. It was interesting to hear from your own perspective, what you're doing and your future plan, and using your movie to promote. I always say, whatever skill you have, it is important to use that skill to do justice to Africa, promote the culture, the ethnicity, and the challenge that we face. One movie that has so much like is the one about Fumilayo. Fela Anikulapo Kuti moms. They did one movie about her, and I would like to see movie about good, good and prominent people in our community that has done great job, and I hope that other producer will do the same thing. Thank you for having me. My name is Lucy Isaiah.
Let me just share my
yes, go on.
I just want to say, please kindly follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Depth Sunday Entertainment on YouTube, Depth Sunday Entertainment on Instagram, and Depth Sunday Entertainment on Facebook, Depth Sunday Entertainment on TikTok. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thanks so much for the work you do in the community and for, your time. Thank you so much. I just want to appreciate your support during my last movie premiere. God bless you, ma. And more grace in Jesus' name.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I'll be tight.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for having us. And take care. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay then. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye everyone. I think our next time we're gonna see how will be next year. And maybe then we'll be I think then we'll be looking. Let me see. I think what are we looking at before she go? I think next year. I think we're coming in, we're seeing it in February, right? February, then
then I'll be prepared for everything. Today I'm working today, so I'm going back there. So, but
the future of it will be the future of Nigerian cinema. Okay, all right then. Take care.
Bye. God bless you. Thanks so much, my brother. I appreciate it. God bless. Bye.
Bye.